Hi everyone, welcome to this Global AI Bootcamp 2024 Kolkata. This was run by D365 Champs, a Dynamics 365 and Power Platform community. So this I will share my screen and give a walkthrough about what is planned for today. So just it is an agenda for this particular today, so the first 10 minutes would be just an introduction about the Global AI Bootcamp and the Disease by Chance, and followed by three sessions. One is Pragnya, and next is the Bhargavi and Vidit, Gholam. So who are going to deep dive into the various sessions which are related to the Copilot and also the global AI. So globally, how this AI been leveraged within the Microsoft sphere. So with you also see the different kinds of sessions on the OpenAI as well, and as well as within the Microsoft stack that you are going to see. And just if anybody does not seen the agenda and who are the particular speakers, so this is the first session that we are going to see, and about the second session, and then about this is about the third session. Okay, so just I will give some introduction about this Global AI Bootcamp. So, so if you observe here, this is a global AI community which has been abroad, and it was a good community initiative that was uh, carried out across the world. If you observe right, around 209 connected groups are present, and these this particular community is conducting their events from 2018, that is around 4,763 you can see. And if you observe, the humongous members has been registered for this around 59,000, so close to 60K. And if you observe, these are all the different kinds of latest series and the conferences that are present. And and if you observe right, this is the global events that are being done. And we are doing on this particular the global events. This one is the boot camp that we are doing out. So this is a global AI Power boot camp 2024. If you observe right, till now this particular event has been conducted in 101 locations around 48 countries. If you observe, the 419 hours of AI content has been delivered, and already boot camps have been completed, and few of them are upcoming. Okay. So if you wanted to go through all these things, then you can go for it. And in case if you wanted to register for this, right? So before going that, let me share my screen and give an keynote for it. So let me share my screen with my sound. Okay.
these models, right? You've got text to speech, you've got rather I should say text to image with DALI, you've got coding, you've got language. Your ChatGPT has completely changed the conversation
Venkat
around
voice is
AI.
very less.
I think those of us who have been on the
Okay.
inside of AI,
Just give me a
definitely
minute.
have kind of thought about it as like, of course, it's changing the world and we see it
Now?
every day. But I think ChatGPT made it real for
Yeah, this is
millions of
How?
better.
people by showing them
Okay.
what it can do and how powerful it is, and their imaginations are now freed.
How can this be really useful towards someone who may have, say, limited mobility? One of my colleagues, Christina, her arms are paralyzed and she types with her toes. And watching her use this product is really cool because she said, oh, I now just have to type one sentence rather than typing lots of sentences to plan a trip, for example.
How do we set the right mental model for a technology like this? It's super impressive. It can create, it can cite information. And so we found that people tend to over trust or over rely the kind of information it generates. And so a lot of what our team did was like, how do you set the right mental model for users? Reminding them, hey, this is from the internet, just as reliable as the internet. Some things are factual, some things are not.
So, hi everyone, welcome to the Global AI Bootcamp 2023. We welcome you as one of the attendees of our yearly global event with more than 70 locations around the world. So, Sammy, do you know?
Right. So just I'll give you some introduction about the D365 champs as well. So this D365 champs has been started from 2018 and within few members who are very much tech enthusiasts and around 5 members has started this particular community where they have found out that especially in the southern part of the Asia, they don't find a particular uh, stage to share and to help each other across the community. That's where this particular 2017 to 2018, this community has been started and it has been spread across the length and breadth of the world from 2019 and 2020. Now we do have the separate stage that is present especially in across all the parts of the world and we do have the more registrations that are present. We have the our global presence in the LinkedIn and as well as in the Twitter as well. So in between I will share the details of our champs community and all in case if you would like to get in touch with us. We do have the exciting things that are coming up. So Deepesh, if you wanted to add some more points we can start.
Yeah, we keep doing our different activities. So we have a lot of initiatives that we have been going through and doing through the years. This year, we are very much focused on our next big event. After this will be obviously Global Biz Apps Day, which we are trying to do as a hybrid event. The details are yet to come across, but that's our annual event, which since we wanted to do it as a hybrid, means in person as well as online presence, we are planning it at this point, and we want to include a lot of AI stuff into it. Another thing on the content that we are sharing today, AI is going to be really key. It is already making a lot of changes in the way we implement our requirements today, and a lot of customers are already adopting the use of copilots into their various implementations. So this is going to be some good set of sessions. These are going to be some good set of sessions where which will be the first time, and at least in D365 Champs, we are doing topics around AI. Another note is obviously we want to keep adding new people into the members in the volunteering group as well. So since Venkata mentioned that we are now close to 5 people, if any one of you is seeing our events and is interested in planning it with us, doing it with us, that is also a very welcome note. We want to definitely add some new energy there. And all this is I will thank the Dynamicity team as well to support us for our events, for our online connects, and to continue to sponsor these events. Right, it does take a lot of things behind the scene, and thanks to all of you to come on a Saturday morning to attend this. With that, I will hand it over to you, Venkata, and Pragnya will take over her session. And sorry if the pronunciation is wrong there.
Yeah, so now, as per the agenda, the first session goes with the Pragnya, and she is coming up with a good a topic that is leveraging the Microsoft Copilot Studio to create chatbot and integrate with the Microsoft Teams and Power Apps. So, Pragnya, without wasting much time, I'll give the mic to you. Stage is yours.
Sure. Firstly, thank you, Venkata and Deepesh, for this opportunity. It means a lot to me. So, to start with, I'll just share my screen. Please confirm once it is visible.
It's visible.
Yes. Thanks all for joining on a long weekend. So, hello, I'm Pragnya Puranik. I'm a business intelligence analyst at Blend. I'm a Microsoft certified Power BI data analyst. I'm also certified in PowerApps, and I also hold AIML certification from IIIT Hyderabad. So coming to my session, it is about, like Venkata and Deepesh said, it is about creating the chatbots. using Microsoft Copilot Studio. And once it is built, we will be integrating that with Teams and PowerApps. So Copilot Studio, it's a powerful platform that allows us to create and customize conversational AI experiences, the chatbots, and with this we can design virtual assistant to cater our specific needs and also automate the workflows. This will help us enhance the productivity and streamline the interactions across various channels. When I say various channels, again, it is about your Power Platform, Teams, etc. So if you are planning to support your teams project or customer service project you have, if you want to automate some tasks, provide internal support, that is where we can make use of Copilot Studio and build intelligent companions. So let's start with a bit about Copilot Studio. I guess by now all of us know a bit about what is Copilot Studio, right? As soon as we hear the word Copilot, the first thing comes is chatbot, GenAI, right? So if anyone wants to answer, maybe I can take a second pause. If not, I can just go on. If anyone wants to answer, maybe they can unmute. Okay, no problem. I'll just go. Copilot Studio, like we know that it is all about GenAI, how the chatbot experience conversations in a natural language, right? So it is an end-to-end conversational AI platform. We can build our chatbots in a customized way, and we are passing the natural language queries and receiving the response from the bot. And about the graphical interface, you need not know much of coding because it is a part of Power Platform. So obviously, no code, no low code is in picture. So you can make use of drag and drop interface to create this. And also in the same platform, you can design, first test it, and then publish it. So all in all, it's a low code platform designed for building AI assistants, which we call as copilots. So it will help us create chatbots that can answer questions, resolve issues, and even automate tasks. So we will see about the automate tasks. We have a feature called plugin wherein most of the Power Automate features are added. So that is where we can automate the tasks. So coming to few key features of Copilot Studio, right? Like I said, GenAI. Hello, I'm audible?
Yes, you are. You are
Yeah.
audible.
So these are the few key features of Copilot Studio. One is GenAI. So it allows to your chatbots to respond to user queries in a natural language, just the way we communicate or chat. It could be in your Teams or WhatsApp. That is where this feature helps. And it also has a proper dialogue creation wherein you can build a simple to complex conversation and design it using the drag and drop interface. And it also has built-in analytics wherein Power BI feature is given to track the performance of your own chatbot. At the end of the conversation, there is a survey kind of thing which we can enable. And once the user gives the rating 1 to 5, you can see how your chatbot is performing, and maybe then you can plan on enhancing your chatbot. That is where we can make use of the built-in analytics feature. And then we have the plugin capabilities as well. Let's assume this as a data connector wherein we have 1200 plus data connectors that we can make use of in Copilot Studio and integrate them. Automation, of course, like I said earlier, we can automate your flows directly from the Copilot Studios with the available options already. For example, if your source is SharePoint, you can get a row, delete a row. If you want to have weather analytics for predictor weather, you can do that as well. There are a couple of features already available. The most important feature of this would be the secure and compliance. Whenever we talk about AI, we are very much concerned about its security governance, right? Since it is built on Microsoft's infrastructure, it is totally secure and compliant. So in a nutshell, we can say that It is extending a unified platform wherein you can build your chatbot within minutes, a simple one, without having to worry about the infrastructure. And we also have Azure AI Studio, which is more at a pro code level, and even that can be extended to your Copilot Studio, can be integrated with each other. Like I mentioned, data integration, you have 1200 plus data connectors that you can make use of in the chatbot. And obviously, the important part is boosting your conversations. You can upload your fact documents, you can have your internal sites. For example, if there is any website external tool which can be helpful for your learning journey or implementing journey, you can do that as well. You can have your custom topics and have a full control over it. That is where boosting the conversation will help. And it also says about full development life cycle. You're developing in Power Platform portal, the Copilot Studio, but that can be published across multiple channels. So for today's session, we will be seeing in Teams and Power Apps. So that is one powerful feature. Obviously, it is safe and secure. So first, before jumping into the demonstration, I would like to show the end products, what we're expecting, how they would look like, and then we will start, to build the chatbot, link these resources. The plan is I'll be using Microsoft Copilot Studio for creating the chatbot. The resources would be few public websites and Excel files that I have. And once my chatbot is ready, I'll be publishing and then integrate with my Microsoft Teams and Power Apps. Let me reshare my screen. Please confirm once my Teams window is visible.
Yes, you can see.
Yeah, this is the chatbot that I had created earlier and I integrated that with Teams. How I did it was I just clicked on these ellipses and here we can just write the name of your chatbot that you have created. Once you click on it, it will ask you to add and you're all set to go. So let me just show you one example and then about the Power Apps, and then we'll deep dive into the step-by-step approach to create this. So I sent hi, so it is understanding the message that I'm sending and it is responding. This is a proper flow in Copilot Studio. I'll just ask, could you, this is about travel assistant, right? So I'll be asking questions about places recommendations. So what is best activity about that place in particular period? So visit in India, let's say during summer season. So I have passed my question. So now what Copilot does is, like I said, if I have given websites and few source files, Excel PDFs, it will go to those location, it will extract and summarizes the answer and gives in this format. So this is the response I got from my Copilot, and we have this numbers here, meaning these are the sources that I have given. And if you want to have more details, we can just click on that. It will take you to the source. This is how the Copilot works in Teams. Now I'll share my Power App screen as well. Until here, if someone has any questions, maybe I'll pause for a few seconds. If not, I can continue.
I don't see any questions. You can carry on.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. It is the Power App screen. If it is visible, please confirm.
Yes.
Yeah, I built a sample app for this demo. So this is the Power App and this is the home page. It is taking the logged in username, which is my name. So if I click on this button, So I have masked the data because intention is only to show about the Copilot Studio, and I have added this chatbot like GIF. If I click on it, my chatbot opens, and here also I can perform the same exercise. I can say good morning. So it will understand. As soon as I send good morning, it is understanding, but it should ask me this question. Again, I can ask some other thing, for example, uh, best haunted places, maybe, just to test how it is working. So it is giving me whatever it has in the websites, in the files I have uploaded. Based on the data, it is giving me the results. So one thing to keep in mind while we are building the chatbot and asking questions or receiving responses is that it should be in relevance to the data. So this is how you can integrate your chatbots in your teams and power apps as well. Use cases would be like, for example, if you are building a learning platform for your own team and you don't want them to visit multiple websites, it could be your MS Learn, Google, etc. You can build a custom chatbots, add them to your teams. Whenever you're planning to implement something, just go to your personal chatbot, your own virtual assistant, ask the question how to do it. The chatbot will summarize and give you the steps with reference links as well, the citations as well. That is the best use case. So with that, let me just come to the demo. So you can go to any Power Platform tool, and on the home page, we have the left panel. It says custom connectors. If you don't have chatbots already, you can pin it them here by clicking on the more and select the chatbots. It will be added. So I'm clicking on chatbots here. This is the home page on your Power Apps portal, but we want to create a new one. So we will be clicking on new chatbot. Now this will redirect me to Copilot Studio portal. So couple of things in mind before creating the chatbot is that you cannot create with your personal ID. It should be a proper Microsoft handle, or it could try with your company domain if it's allowed, if it's already enabled. And entities within the Copilot Studio is within the Dataverse, so you also need to have your Dataverse license. Maybe you can give it a try with your trial license. So these things are to be kept in mind. This is the interface I have as the first step of Copilot creation. As soon as it redirected me to Copilot Studio, it says set up the pilot. Here you can give your name of the Copilot. Sorry. Let's say different name, Safarnama for instance, and directly you can give your website here, or you can do that in your next step as well. Let me try with a sample website. So first I'll show you this. So here when you click on advanced option, there are a couple of icons available wherein you can pick a logo for your chatbot. You can import as well. There is a size limit, it should not exceed 30 KB. So you can just download or create your own custom logos, and you can just add here, and this should be checked. And as you can see, a solution is in CDS, common data services. So that's what I said. Dataverse is also needed. This is the schema name, the same name which I gave for my Copilot. And here we have a couple of language options as well: Chinese, Czech, Danish, Dutch. But since most of us are familiar with English and an industry here in India for the clients as well, you're using English majorly. We can start with this now. So I'll just say create. So now what Copilot is doing it is trying to set up a chatbot for me within minutes. I haven't done anything. All I did was I just logged into Copilot Studio with my email. I gave it a name. I just passed a link and I hit create. That's all. It is processing. Right. So this is the next page that opens up as soon as your Copilot is set up. And this is our test chatbot window we have. If I click on the first message that's given, it will open up the flow. And this particular message can also be customized per your requirement. Until that loads, we will be exploring these couple of options we have. Copilot, it is the home page for all your copilots that you have built. We have plugins preview as well, wherein you can have some automation tasks or you can predict your weather. You can make use of MSN weather that we will be seeing. These are the two options. If you have a plugin directly from your OpenAI, you can do that as well. Even the Power Platform components can be used. And then you have prompts. All of this in our preview. So one thing to keep in mind whenever we are building this currently, at least until this is pushed to GA, is that preview features might work sometimes, may not work sometimes, because there's a planning and testing going on at the back end. That's why they are in preview. Once they are in GA, which is generally available, we can totally rely on them. So you can have your, there's a question, can it work offline after a few interactions? I guess no, it is all online, right? Because we're integrating with Teams, it's on website. If it has to be made offline, I guess there are other steps which currently I'm not aware of.
As of now, it is only works on online. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Venkata, for that. And then we have the models as well. If you have your pre-built models or if you have your custom models, for example, if you have hosted them on your Azure, OpenAI, Azure services, you can call them as well. As of now, we have these models supported in preview. And then obviously, like I said, this can be integrated with all the Power Platform tools. Here we have a list of tools. Now let's head back to our Copilot that we created. So in here we have topics. There are two types. One is system and one is topics directly. Let me refresh. So topics here, it is about greetings, wherein your Copilot will understand whenever you say good morning, like we saw in the Teams integration. As soon as you said good morning, it is asking you, hello, how can I help you? That is where the topics come in picture. In system also, we have a couple of them. 1 second. And these are the list of entities that are currently supported, and all of this is in Dataverse. And this is the analytics tab that I was talking earlier, wherein you can track your bot's performance. So it has summary, customer satisfaction, billing and boosting conversations. Then you have publish option. Once you feel your Copilot is working as expected, you have run enough tests, you can publish it. And then we have two options in the extended features for Microsoft Copilot Preview. One is conversational plugins and AI plugins. To make your Copilot more advanced, you can make use of these features. For example, I was using one of the custom prompts in my previous apps that I created, wherein it was trying to classify the input text and put into few categories that I defined. And you also have these settings for your Copilot. So here, the name of my Copilot, where exactly it is residing, the icon of it. And if you want to integrate your Copilot with other AI integration tools, these are the options we have. Like I said, if you have your model hosted in Azure OpenAI, and if your data is hosted there, you can make use of that as well. Cognitive services, yes. And if you have a custom Copilot software development kit, you can make use of that as well. So this was the website I added during the start of my Copilot creation. That is where you can find here. But important setting is when you're trying to create a Copilot, there are these three options. This should be checked so that it will boost the conversation and generate the answers based on the data source you have provided. It could be your websites, it could be your PDFs, your Excels, it could be your internal SharePoint site. So about the website, currently 4 public websites are supported. You cannot give more than 4 public websites. And also you can have your SharePoint internal sites as well. And then below here we have an option to upload your documents. You can upload your Excel files, PDFs, documents, but the size limitation is 3 MB. So as soon as we speak about this, the question arises, how many files can we upload? Because there is a limitation on the number of websites, right? So it depends on your dataverse capacity, the license you have. For example, if it is up to 50 GB, you can add files up to 50 GB, but your file size per file size should be 3 MB. That is about this. And then you have channel. I haven't published, so it is not available. And then it also supports different languages. If you want your Copilot to have other languages apart from English, you can add here. There's a separate procedure altogether for that, but that's quite easy as well. But for this demo, we are not seeing that. Go back to my Copilots. Yeah, so earlier we just saw that Safarnama bot was created within minutes. Now we are looking at its own topics. So we have these 7 topics. Goodbye, greeting, right? Greeting, let me just open that one. So it has a trigger wherein we are defining few phrases. So if I pass these phrases, it will respond me with hello, how can I help you today? But let's say if you're passing apart from this currently, it won't understand because these are predefined. But if you want this also to be dynamic, you can have a feature enabled like dynamic chaining. It is here. Let me just show you quickly. This particular feature, so this will understand all the human commands that we give in the chat, so you can enable that and further enhance it. So one important thing that I want to talk about here in topics is a system topic. We have conversational boosting. So this is where your main functionality of the chatbot lies, how it is answering based on what you're passing a command. Just the way I said, best places to visit during summer in India, Australia, it should understand the question, it should give you the response back, right? So what it does is, in this particular step, it creates generative answers. So it will go to your data so that you have provided. It could be a website, SharePoint site, Excel, PDF, whatever it is. It will try to find and then summarize and give you the response. So currently just one website, I haven't uploaded anything. So let's see what it says when I ask it the question. So I said hi. If I just click on this, it shows how it is performing. So I said hi. How can I help you? Now suggest some places to visit in Karnataka, for example. So this was my question to the bot. So as soon as I passed this, the step went to generative answers, and this is the answer I received. So if you see, like I mentioned earlier, we have all the number indication. These are the citation indications. It is giving it the answer, yes, but it is also giving it the reference if you want to see further. If I click on this link, it is taking me to the website which I gave. If you remember, this was the only website I passed during the creation of my chatbot. Let me go back to my GenAI. So now we will upload a file. I'm uploading 2 Excel files here. So until now we just saw about a website. Now I'm uploading 2 Excel files. You can also directly link your SharePoint site. For example, if you have built an internal SharePoint website for your team with all the documents or the project related stuff, you can directly pass it and start working on this. So let's have a look at the Excel file, and then we will ask questions for the chatbot to recommend. Let me open. A moment, please. The file is opening. Yeah. Let me reshare my screen. So this is the Excel file I have uploaded just now in the Copilot, wherein it is talking about the cities, ratings, ideal duration to visit that place, best time to visit, description. So it just has this. There is one more file about the places with a similar pattern. So now let's take an example about Manali. Let's ask this question. So it is saved. Uh, when is the best time to visit Manali? So it has answered, but as we can see, there are 2 citations, one for the website and one for the source. Because I have uploaded this file, so it is understanding that I have to go to this particular Excel file, read it, and then summarize and then give an answer. So this is the flow. It is going to data source, giving us the answer, and then finishing it. Now, if I say, thank you, I want to end my conversation. It is giving you a question that whether you would like to end your conversation just the way other most of the bots we see. And then it is asking you the rating as well. You can click on this. So it acknowledges the feedback, and then it says if you want to any more support. This is the end of the chatbot, and let's say it's only giving the text, right? If you want to make it more enhancement, you can also give images as a welcome message. You can just pass your image URL or video URL. So along with this message, so just click add. So in the message tab here, I'm just clicking on image. It's not allowing me to double click it. Let me give a image URL instead from here. Please save it. So the expectation is that as soon as you send hi and you're adding a media attached to it, it could be your image or video, it should show up and you can play your video here itself. For some reason, it is not enlarging. But I can show you an example that I created earlier. And also you can have your video as well. Here you can give your YouTube link, for example. Let me do that. Hello. Let's try this one. So now I have added a link, YouTube link. So earlier, if there was an image would pop up here. And now you have your YouTube. So you can just play it here as well. So you have that feature as well. But if you want the responses to be images and video, currently it is using GPT-3.5. So it is a text summarization, but you can achieve it as well. There are other approaches. You can customize it in your conversational boosting using HTTP connector and other plugins we have. So next, let's try to add a plugin as well. So these are the couple of options we have. Let's say your source is Excel Online. It could be a SQL as well. If you want forecast, if you want to run a flow which you have built in your Automate desktop, you can call that as well. If you want to send an email, you can do. But for the demo, let's just try with weather forecast. So again, it's in preview mode. So it is the MSN weather. It is available. I can click on next. So this is my action, getting the weather forecast for the day. This is the name. These can be edited. And if you see here, it says ask the user before running this action. If you set it to S, you can have your own custom question that is to be asked to user, and then you can receive a response. So dynamically, these inputs will be taken, and then we have output. It says respond to the user after running this action. It is marked as yes. Let's just say finish. Yeah. So now let's ask. What is the weather today? Hyderabad. It's not taking 1 second. Let me retry. So like I said, it is in preview mode, so it won't always behave the way we want it to be. It is still in preview mode. But yeah, it should actually give you the weather forecast for the day as soon as you do this. So it also has this feature, if it's not able to respond, right, you can set up a proper flow wherein it can escalate to the live agent, and then we can respond from a human. And this is the flow that will be triggered. Currently, it is taking time to publish, but once all the settings are completed by the Copilot, it will ask you this button wherein you can click and publish it. Let's wait until it is enabled. Let me see if there's any questions until then. Oh, they are answered. Thank you. It's taking time. Okay, we have few minutes. Maybe I'll show you the ones which is already available. It is taking time to set up. This is the one which we saw earlier. So it's important that you enable your tracking on always. So it is for the seamless flow of your conversation. Sometimes this option may not be available even though everything is being proper followed. This option won't be enabled and you can't even enable because that is in preview mode. So please keep track of your steps that you're doing. This is the publish tab. I want to show the channels. So let's say you have published your Copilot. Currently for me, these two are available. If you want to integrate with your teams directly, how you publish it is you come to your channels, you click on the Microsoft Teams, and here by default it takes your chatbot, and then you can publish. You can see your availability as well. You can copy your link. If you want to export, you can download it in zip format as well. And here are the permissions that you can set up. So let me show how we can add in PowerApps. I'll do this here itself. So currently we are in the PowerApps developer interface. So you can click on insert. You can search chatbot. As you can see, it is in preview mode and it's a premium feature. So please keep that in mind. So as soon as you select that plugin, right? So it will show you whatever chatbots are available that you have created. So it should be in your own environment. So you cannot import the chatbot which is in someone else's environment. So if I just click this, now it is trying to set up directly. Because I have already called the same one, there are chances that it won't allow. But if you see here, I was able to integrate my chatbot that I created within minutes. So this is how you do it. Any questions until here, apart from what is already answered?
No questions.
Okay, thank you. So let me come back to my deck. I'll reshare my screen. Yeah, so until now we were just seeing about how you can build your own Copilot with Copilot Studio. So for citizen developers like us, if you are the one who are into Power Platform but are not well versed or don't have time to code much, you can use this because it's a low code and no code platform. But if you still want to build advanced and complex chatbots, you can make use of Azure AI Studio. You can host your data in the Azure Open AI, make all use of the custom plugins available as well. Use Azure Search, Bing, and then you can extend the chatbot that you have built on Azure AI Studio to your Copilot Studio as well. So if I have to conclude with 2 points here, when to use what, if you want your deployment development to be easy and fast with a number of connectors, let's say 1200 plus SharePoint Online PDF, you can go with Copilot Studio. But if you're looking for more advanced, complex, and which requires more coding, that is why it is a beast pro code experience, you can go with Azure AI Studio, wherein you can leverage Fabric as well, OneLake, Blob Storage, Azure Search. And again, this can be extended to Copilot Studio. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you all. There's a question.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Pragnya.
Pragnya.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So if anyone have questions, you can ask. Okay, so I got a few pings, few messages from the join people who are joined. So they wanted to know about this global AI community. So just I will share you a 4 minute video in this particular screen. So let me share my screen. Hmm.
Hi everyone, AI enthusiasts from all around the world. Welcome to the Global AI Bootcamp 2024. What a year 2023 has been, am I right? It feels like the entire world went a little crazy. But hey, at least we got some amazing advancements in AI out of it. The evolution of LLMs and small language models has been mind-boggling fast. And let's not forget the integration of vision into these models. It's like AI suddenly developed superhero powers overnight. But let me ask you something, my fellow AI enthusiasts. Do you also find it incredible hard to keep up with all the latest updates? I mean, seriously. It's like trying to catch a hyperactive squirrel on roller skates. It's a never-ending race to stay on top of the latest AI trends and developments. Now, I know you're all expecting a fantastic video this year, but guess what? We've got something even better in store for you. We've been on a worldwide adventure traveling around the globe, interviewing industry leaders from different companies and cloud providers. Why? Well, we want to delve deeper into the fascinating interaction between humans and AI. And let me tell you, the insights we've gathered are mind blowing. But wait, I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. How about a little sneak peek? Yes, you heard me right. We've got a preview video ready to give you a taste of what's to come. Brace yourself for Human Hearts, Silicon Minds, the show that will make you question everything you thought you knew about AI and its impact on our lives.
You and I have the mighty human brain, the ultimate in, AGI.
I'm more of the belief that these artificial intelligence models are going to be used to make humans more productive.
Are fundamentally not intelligent systems. As I said, it's an algorithm that's predicting out the next word from things. It's a very useful algorithm.
So for example, if I were to take a glass of water and I had ice cubes on the bottom of the glass of water, an AI might be able to say, hey, those ice cubes are in the wrong spot, but doesn't reason, oh, they need to float.
So it's not intelligence that makes you able to complete tasks well. It's actually expertise. It's actually experience.
When they say they love me, it doesn't really mean there's that chemical happening within the machine that there's that we feel as human beings, right? So that's an area that I think we need to be very careful about.
What you do with an assistant is you don't explicitly tell it what to do. Instead, you give it powers.
Like the older generation, they have no idea about what is going on, and they trust everything that they see, right? So they don't have this knowledge that you cannot trust everything that you see, that you listen, that you receive.
So we should hold ourselves to a higher bar, even if it's not against the law. If it's not illegal, doesn't mean we should do it.
Now, I know you're all eager to watch the entire series, and I promise you won't have to wait long. Over the next few weeks, we'll be releasing all the episodes on our YouTube channel. And of course, we'll be keeping you updated on all the latest news and behind the scene action on our social media channels. So make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and follow us for all the AI goodness coming your way. But enough about our exciting new series, my friends. It's time to pass the torch back to the local hosts of the events you're attending right now. Whether it's in person or virtual, let's give them a big round of applause for their tireless efforts in bringing this amazing bootcamp together. So without further ado, I hope you all have a fantastic time at the Global AI Bootcamp 2024. Get ready to expand your knowledge, connect with fellow AI enthusiasts, and let's dive headfirst into the world of AI. Happy learning, everyone.
So, hope you have got more information about the Global AI Bootcamp 2024, and hope it gave the sense why this particular Global AI Bootcamp has been held and across the world. What is the intent for it? Because the world is going on with the AI here and there and all. So the main intent was AI is not going to replace any of the people, but AI will become as a part and participle of any particular company to better implement their process and all. So with that, we have ended our first session. Thanks, Pragnya, for your time and taking your time to spend here in a long weekend. Truly appreciate. So with that, we'll go into the next session. So if Bhargavi is on this particular call,
Yeah,
then
I'm available.
okay. So yes, thanks, Bhargavi. So we are going to start about the session two. Where CR Bhargavi, she was a Microsoft MVP. She works for the Ford, and she was a speaker and blogger, and yeah, she was truly a community person. Okay. So over to you, Bhargavi.
Thank you. With that, let me get started with uh, today's session. Hope I am audible too and my screen is visible too.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for confirming. Okay. In this session, we will be seeing empowering enterprise intelligence through Azure Open with Azure Open AI through PowerApps, which is where we will be seeing how does the Azure Open AI can be used for building various kind of use cases that what we can have, and that can be integrated with PowerApps is something that what we would be covering as part of this session. And I mean, I had an intro which was given by Venkata Subbarao already, and let me give a brief introduction of myself before I get in. So, as he told, I am working as a senior software engineer for Ford and a Microsoft MVP. And apart from that, I am a Microsoft certified trainer and a C Sharp Corner MVP and hold more than 6 certification from Microsoft. And I am a global speaker and I write blogs and articles inside C Sharp Corner. You can get in touch with my articles and blogs through by scanning this code and post this session as well. If you have any doubts, you can get in touch with through my LinkedIn as well. Okay. With that, the agenda for today's session is we will be seeing what is Power Platform, just a brief introduction to understand what is Power Apps. And then we will be seeing most of the part related to Azure OpenAI, what it does, and then how can we connect it with Power Apps, and how do we connect Azure OpenAI with Power Apps. And then we will also see a demo on it, and at last I would be taking up the question and answer part. So before I go into as a whole of AI portfolio which are available in the Microsoft, um, so we can find different things that are available for us inside the Microsoft AI portfolio. First thing is like the developers and data scientists will be using it, wherein the uh, Azure machine learning, which comes into place, where they would be doing the coding and other steps over there. And the next layer would be of Azure OpenAI service, decision language, speech, and vision. So all these will be kind of service that are that I mean which will be available, and we can go ahead and use that. And the layer which is above, a bit above it, is like bot service, cognitive service, form recognizer. So these all are like the Azure applied AI services which are available into the Azure right now, wherein it has different functionalities which are available. And one such service which we would be seeing today is Azure OpenAI service. So, what does these applied AI services can do is like it can get integrated with any of the platform which is available under the Power Platform. Like either it can be integrated with Power BI or Power Apps or Power Automate or Power Virtual Agent, which is now uh, Power Copilot Studio as well. Like you can integrate it with any of the services that are available and make use of it being developed. And when it comes for Azure OpenAI service as a whole, so Azure OpenAI service is like pre-trained models which are available, and we can go ahead and use those models, which will have the model customization capabilities being inbuilt in it. And it is also a tool which is used to have the responsible AI. when it comes for the enterprise grade safety, grade security. Like it assures us the enterprise grade security, and by letting us know that it is not using the trained data that we are giving it to train it, but to train it for itself. So it's a model that is available, and we can go ahead and consume that service. And when it comes for what does this Azure OpenAI things can do is like, it can do content generation, it can do chatbot, and it can act as a chatbot and virtual assistant. Like content generation in the sense, if we want something out of it as from the Azure OpenAI, then when we want to generate some content out of it, when we go and type in prompt over there, then that becomes the content generation. And when it acts as a chatbot and and virtual assistant, so what it does here is that uh, it can act as your virtual assistant, such that it will have the natural language understanding and the various capabilities of the chatbots being available inside it, and from which you can go ahead and use it as either chatbot or virtual assistant as well. And it can do translation. Say an example, if you select a model and when you want to uh, translated to something like French to English, or English to French, then you can use this as well. And when it comes for text summarization, what it happens is like, it does. I mean, when you give as a whole paragraph, and when you want it to be in 2 lines or something like that, to make yourself understand within a minute, so you can go ahead and give it a paragraph, and it would give you a 1 line or 2 line summarized text, such that you can understand better as well, and you can also get the key information out of it. And it is also used for analyzing the sentiment analysis as well. Like, say an example, the customer gives you the feedback, and from that feedback you have to have something being built out of it, or you have to improve your product. So you can use the sentiment analysis and go ahead and build that. So these are some things that are available under the Azure OpenAI, and wherein you can go ahead and uh, consume those and build your build for your service. So what does this Azure OpenAI architecture do to retrieve the data is that we have the client, right? So when we have the client, we will be having the Azure OpenAI being created. So the service has to be created under the Azure OpenAI. Sorry, it would be available under the Azure portal, and from there you would be creating the Azure OpenAI service, and from there you would be going to the oai.portal.com, which is the Azure OpenAI portal, and then from there you would be using either the Azure OpenAI search and blob storage as well, like the storage that what you had for storing your data will be used, and from there you can get your results back. So it happens like this: whenever the user wants to give you some job, it is being put into the Azure OpenAI. Say in case the user wants to start an interaction, then it hits up the Azure OpenAI first, and it first understands what kind of uh, interaction that the user is about to do, and which is being done through the indexes, data sources, in skill set and all those kind of things, with the help of the Azure OpenAI search. And once this is done, the Azure OpenAI search will be reading up all the input storage that whatever you had given to train the Azure OpenAI service. And it would be most probably we would be using when we want to use our own data, then we would be sticking on to blob storage, and from that blob storage, which is like um, from there, which is where you would be storing the data that what you want to train for your chatbot or the Azure OpenAI. And from there it would be taking up the values, and it would be returning the values to the Azure OpenAI service. Once this is done, what it does is that based on the index, it would be returning the value to the client. So this happens as a whole when it wants to retrieve the data from the Azure OpenAI architecture. And when we want to connect it with the different platforms, what we do is that either it can be of whatever kind of the application UX that what we use, we would be using an application server and an orchestrator. And when we do that, we would be creating the Azure OpenAI service inside the Azure portal, and which will have the prompt and knowledge, and it would give back the response out of it. And when we give the um, this is being trained with the help of the Azure Cognitive Search, right? So the query that whatever we give is the knowledge that what it has, and it would go and check for its knowledge base, and it would be with the help of the data sources that whatever we had given to it with the like either it can be of files or database or the JSON format, or it can be of anything that whatever we try to give in to the Azure Cognitive Search. And this gets hit up, and it would be returning back to the results of Azure OpenAI Studio. And this can then be connected with any of the different platforms that are available. Say in case we will have the API being generated from the Azure OpenAI, and from there we can go ahead and integrate it with the different platforms that are available. So consider a use case that what we try to do. What we are trying to do is that we are trying to use the Power Automate uh, to get the PPT and the PDF being uploaded to it, and that gets hit up with the blob storage. And when that blob storage has been these are being uploaded into the blob storage, and this is where it has to get the data from. And this PPT and PDF are the main sources or main sources of the Azure OpenAI that it has to look on, and it has to give us the response back as well. So what we do is that it once these are uploaded into the Azure blob storage, what it happens is like whenever the chat is being initialized by either through PowerApps or through Azure OpenAI portal itself, what we do is like it would just hit up the web app, and from the web app it would try to integrate with the Azure OpenAI service that what we had created on. And like what we saw in the earlier slide, it would be looking for the databases that what it has with the help of the Azure Cognitive Search. And with that, it would look for the Azure blob storage, and it would retrieve all the data that what it has, and it would be returning back to the Azure OpenAI portal, and it would be returning back to the chat. So whenever you have some industrial data that whatever you need to train on yourself, then you would be uploading it on some storage, and you would be connecting it with the Azure Cognitive Search, and from there you would be connecting it to some database, and from there you would be connecting it to Azure OpenAI service, and from there you would be integrating it with some platforms that are available. In our case, it is PowerApps. So this is one of the use case that what we wanted to have a touch base on. And what are the prerequisite of using this Azure OpenAI services? Like, first thing is you have to register at this form, which is like you have to raise a request under this portal, and once your access is being granted, you have to create an instance in Azure with the help of Azure OpenAI service. And from there, you would be navigated to the Azure OpenAI Studio, which is in case of oai.azure.com. So you would be navigating there, and from there you would be building the models, and then you would also do the deployments over there, and you and then use it for the further track of the model. So what do we do is that we will be creating a model first, right? And that can be I mean these are the things that I would also be showing up when we see the demo as well. And for now, for just a brief introduction of what we do inside the Azure OpenAI portal, we would be first choosing a model, and then when we choose the model, we would be what we do is that we would be going and doing it for deployment. And once we do the deployment, we would train the model with the help of some uh, like we would be checking if the model is being right, uh, whether it is being reacting to the use case that what we are trying to do. Say in case when we want to build for our own organization, then we would be bringing up our own organizational data, right? So for which the model has to answer for the same. What we do is like we like following all the steps that what we had discussed, we would put that in some storage, and from there we would connect it with the cognitive search, and all those things will be done. And then we would also publish the model. Once we had published the model, we would be keeping track of the model, which is like we would get the model with the help of the with the help of the uh, with the help of uh, the URL that is available, and from there we can go ahead and consume the data inside the Power Platform. So this is how we would be doing the model training inside the Azure OpenAI Studio. Here, the training means that the you would be just instructing the model on what it has to do, and it is like not feeding your own data inside the model such that it stores it somewhere, and it would be using it for the others to use it. So it does not mean that it is like using your own data to make your model being customized for you is the meaning that what the model training is being stated over here. And when it comes for PowerApps, like what it has is like we have more than 1,000 connectors that are available inside the PowerApps, and there are few custom connectors which are available inside the Power Platform as well. And there are few, and out of those few, we have OpenAI custom connector itself been available, wherein we would be using that particular custom connector to get it connected with the Azure OpenAI, and from there we would be going and using the Azure OpenAI inside the Power Apps, and we would be building an application, and will then be integrating it, and with the help of the custom connectors, we would then be interacting and giving up the results for it. So what can we do when we want to integrate it with the other apps? Is like we can first is like sharing the model that what we had deployed under the Azure OpenAI Studio, and once that is done, what what is the next step that what we do is like we would then go back to the Power App Studio, and from there we would be doing the custom connectors, and the custom connectors will be built from the menu. And to have the custom connector been available, we have to have the premium version of the Power Apps. And once that is done, we would be finding the model that is available with the help of the base URL and the keys that what we had given with the model. And from there, it would be the model that what we had created is now available for it. And once we had did all these, we would be then developing the application inside the Power Apps, and from there we would be sharing the application to everyone, and it is ready to use in the production as well. So what do we do inside? I mean, it is the same that what we had tried in the previous step as well. So we would first step we would be creating the Azure OpenAI service inside the portal, and then from there we would be going to the Azure OpenAI Studio, and we would be deploying a model, and we would be creating the applications for the Power Apps. And with the help of the URL of Azure OpenAI, we would then be integrating over here. And with the help of the HTTP post and the OpenAI solution custom connector, which is available, we would then be connecting it with the Power Apps, and then we would be testing the solution and deploying it to the production. So these are the steps that what we try to do when we connect the Azure OpenAI with the Power Apps. So what we do in the Power Platform, what does this Power Platform custom connectors are like? These are the ones which are the added services that are not currently supported. Say in case Azure OpenAI connection is not being currently supported directly, right? So to extend those kind of support, we would be using the custom connectors. And when we want to expand the connectors that do not have any trigger or action being done to it, then we would be preferring the custom connectors. And we can build a wizard or postman collection, or we can also connect it with any IDEs that it can do, and it can be shared with either and it can be shared and certified via GitHub too. So this is all about the custom connectors that are available under the Power Apps as well. And now we would be seeing a demo on the Azure OpenAI Studio on how does it work, and then we would also be touch basing on how to connect it as well. So to get your Azure subscription, as we were discussing, we have to fill in the form which was shown in the earlier slide for using the Azure OpenAI service as well. So once we are done, we would then be getting the Azure OpenAI being available under the Azure portal. So when we go inside the Azure OpenAI Studio, as a first step to create, what we would do is like we would create a user group like what we regularly used to do. And once that is done, we would be giving an instance name, and we would also be choosing the pricing tier as well. And then we would be hitting up the next button. Once we are done with this, the Azure OpenAI Studio is being created, and it would then be available inside the name that what you had tried to give will be available under the Azure OpenAI services that are available. And when you open it, you would be able to see the navigation and the other things that what we can do. Just a second. Not sure if it's because of my network. Okay. Once we had navigated inside the Azure OpenAI service, we can now when you go to the bottom of it, you can understand where do you explore and deploy, and then when you want to develop something, then what you would do, and all those things will be mentioned. And when we want to go inside the Azure OpenAI, first thing is that we have to go inside the Azure OpenAI Studio when we have created the Azure OpenAI service. So once we had did this, what we would be doing as a next step is like, sorry, it is taking a bit longer time to log in. Okay. When we go inside it, what we would be doing is like the first thing is we would be creating the deployments under the deployment tabs, which there are a number of tabs which are available, like the Azure OpenAI is the home page that is available, and then chat is like when we want to have some model being deployed, and when you want to test it over here, then the chat would be helping you to test the models which are of about 3.5, like the version 3.5. When you want to test more than that, then you would be coming over here and you would be testing it. And when you want to test the models which are lower than the 3.5 version, then you would be you would be uh, you would be navigating to the completions playground, and from there you would be testing the completions. You would be testing the model over there. So what is the difference between this chat and the completions is like completions, inside the completions you would be typing in the output as well. I mean, you would be giving in the prompt as well here, and you would also be getting the response as well at the same window over here, and you won't have any kind of user interface or some kind of chatbot feel like that. And when you want to have some chatbot kind of feel, then you would be going with the chat, and from there you like it would be exactly like what we try to do inside the chatbot, and you would be replying and it would be replying next. It's a kind of that feel. So these are some things that are available to test. And when it comes for deployment, you would be deploying your models here. Say in case deploying a model is like you would be selecting the model that is needed, and once you had selected the model based on your subscription that what you had chosen, you would be able to choose the model. And once that is done, um, yeah, for me, the deployment is not available for GPT-4, right? So based on the model that what subscription that what we had tried to give, it would be allowing you to choose the model. And from there, once you had did this, you would be giving the deployment name. And once that is done, you would be having the deployment being done under the notification. And once that is done, your model is now ready to use. So it's like once your model is ready to use, you would get the deployment name and then version. Everything will be listed over here, and from there you can assume that the model is being deployed as well. Now, when you want to test your model, what we do is like you would either go for chatbot or completions, right? So what we do inside here is that you can also add in your own data with the help of add your data, wherein when you select it over here as select or add data source, you would be either selecting either of it, and you can go ahead and give your own data to use under the chatbot. Say in case this is used for building the knowledge base that is available. Say in case when we want to do some kind of templates being available, um, as an live example, when you are a service provider and you want to build application for both HDFC as well as for IDBI, then what you would be doing is that you should not share the data that is available under the HDFC to IDBI, right? So what you would be doing is like you would be creating two different knowledge base, and and from there the knowledge base is like the data will be created into two different ones, and depending on the system message and then examples that what you try to give in, it would act it would act in the same way. And then y- I mean it's the same thing that what you can also given with the help of the data source that what we try to give in here. And the most important thing that what we have to keep in mind is the tokens that what we try to use it for every model that is available. So what does this token is like? One-fourth of the word is a token. So what we do to train the, either it can be of the template that what we have here, or either it can be of the template that what we try to give in. Say in case when we want some Shakespeare writing assistant to be done, then your model will be updated with the system user and the assistant, system message user and the assistant based on that. What is the system message user and assistant is like? System message is something that what you try to say in case system message is something like you are instructing the model to act as like this. Say in case in the similar example, you are instructing the model to act as an Shakespearean writing assistant, such that it would be acting it would be using the words like die do and those kind of words, and it would be returning you back with the result. So it should be yeah, Romeo and all those kind of words has to be used, and it should give up with the result like that is something that where you define the model is called as the system message. And once you are done with that, you should also give the user and the assistant as well. User is like user is like the prompt that what you try to give in, and assistant is like the model that returns back your result. When you give the prompt when you give the prompt like write a short text, turning down an invitation to dinner is something that what we try to give in as a prompt, and for which the model should be replying like I must decline thy invitation. And it has used the words like thy, right? So it should be replying kind of. Those words is something that what we would be giving under the system message, user and assistant. So this is all about the setup that is available. And once that is done, we also have the playground settings, which is like, you can also give in the speech response as well. And you have to select in the speech response, and from there you can go ahead and use it as a speech as well. And then you also have few configuration settings that are available uh, under the Azure OpenAI as well, which is like either it can be off, chat, or completion. These configuration and the parameter are same. So what you do is like you have something called as temperature. Temperature is like, when you want to set this up, to 0 to 1, then it means that you would be instructing your model, either it varies from 0 to 1 basically. And 0 is like it should be having a creative content as such. And when it comes to nearing 1, it means that, sorry, it means that it should be of exact content that what it has to reply on. So it would be deciding on with the values that what it has, and with the temperature that what it tries to do, and it would be giving you up with the results based on that. So this is what the temperature parameter would be doing on. And you also have the input tokens being calculated as well under the token breakdown as well. So when you given the message history or user query, or and how many system messages that what it has, and all those kind of token that whatever you try to give in will all be calculated. And based on that, the output token will also be given, right? So all these tokens will decide on which pricing tier you are on for, and it will be there under the quota. And from there you can go ahead and decide on how many token that what it can get for. So let me go back to that, and let me come here as a continuation, like what we were talking, right? So when you it also depends on the region that what you are trying to deploy on here. So you would be selecting the region and your subscription, and once that is done, you would be able to see what kind of model that what you had tried to do, and how many usage that what you had did. And then you would also be able to see the different kind of parameters that are available for all the models that are available. You would see what is the percentage that what you had tried to consume here. And if your quota for that particular model is kind of consumed, then you should be going with either the next model, or it's like you should be choosing up the different region, or you should be re-requesting for the same access to the OAI form that what we had tried to give in access, right? So we would try to give fill in the same form, and you would be accessing the you would be getting the access for the studio again. So these are some of the things that are available under the Azure OpenAI Studio. And how and now let's see how do you get these things inside the uh, Power Platform. Is that you can either deploy it as a new web app, or you can deploy it as a part of the subscription that what you try to do as well here. And this should be done after the after all the testing and everything is being done. When your template doesn't suit you, then you would be going and changing it, and you should make your bot in a way that it should be replying back with all the details that what you need alone, and it should not be having some things that it does not know. So you should be mindful of all those details, and when we are done with that, we can also have it in the case of sample code as well, and wherein you can go ahead and use it inside the code as well, either in form of the Python or JSON or C sharp or curl as well. And if you don't need any of these and you just need the API keys alone, then there is an option available for it as well, wherein the endpoint key and version everything will then be given for you, and this would be the key that what we are trying to give. So from here you can go ahead and use it, or you can just take up the endpoint version and key from here, and key from here and go ahead and use it. So or there is another option as well, which is like okay, when we go inside the same resource that what we had tried to create under the Azure portal, right? So when we go inside it, we would go inside the key and endpoint as well. So why this Azure OpenAI is safe is like, even when the key is being given, or even when the key is being exposed, what you can do is like you can regenerate the key n number of times that what we need as well. So you can regenerate the key that what you need, and then you will have two different keys as well, and one region, and then you would also have the endpoint. So the notable point that what is there between the endpoint that is there and the endpoint that is that what we need to use under the OpenAI is like, um, we would be having the cognitive search and everything, right? So when this is being there, you should also integrate, you should also have the model name being added with it when you want to have the endpoint being available, when it needs to be customized with the Power Platform. So you would be getting those, and you can also go ahead and use this as well. So these are some of the things that are available when it comes for Azure OpenAI Studio. And this does not mean that it is just available inside the chat alone. You can also find the same things and parameter inside the completions playground as well. Here you can choose the model. This is the model that what we had uh, tried to deploy. Since I have only one model inside the deployments, it just shows up with only one model, or uh, when we want to load with some sample, then it does it like this. So say in case when you want to summarize an article, provide the summary of the um, main idea is something that what you try to give. And when you try to test it as well, test is something that what is available here. And when it is there, then that would be summarizing an article as a whole, and it would be giving you up with the result that what what it needs as well. Like, say in case the ones which are in the green are the ones with the reply here, and it would be giving you back with the result of that. So the completions and the chat works for both of the things, and you can go ahead and use it for any of the testing area as well. And when it comes for okay, when it comes for testing in this, then you would be having the reply with the help of uh, we have given here as Shakespeare, right? So when we want to test it, then it would be returning you back with the result. I'm not sure what is happening, but it is not returning the right result. When we do that, then it would return you back with the result that what we need for it, and in the form of the chatbot. And the parameters still remains the same for both the completions and the chat. So it's like it varies from 0 to 1, and you can set it to either zero point 0.5 or 1 or nearing or exactly 1 as well, and it always depends on the depends on what you set here, and the maximum token length, all those things that what we try to do inside the chat and the completions for the parameter remains the same. Now that we have to deploy it to Power Platform, right? So what we can do is like we can take it up in the form of API, for which what we have to do is to make our API more safer. We have API management services that is available under the Azure portal, and we have to create a API management service that is available, which is like you would be clicking on the create, and you would be giving a resource name. And once that is done, you would be giving up the organization name, and then you would be selecting the pricing tier as well. And there are different kind of pricing tier that are available. And once that is done, you would also be selecting the units that are there, and then you would be reviewing and creating it. Once you had created it, you would again have the since the deployment takes more than 2 minutes, I had already created it. So once the deployment is done, you would have the API management been available here. And when it's been available, what we can do is like we have different kind of it's like the same it's a different service that is available. And from there, what we can do is when we go inside the API, you have different kind of API options that what you can try to build in over here. Saying as we can see here, it can be either of HTTP, or either it can be of WebSocket, or any kind of uh, any kind of definition that what we try to give in over there. And for now, we are just using the HTTP response, or you can also go ahead and use the Open API definition as well, which is available here. And for now, I had created it under the HTTP response. So you would be giving a name, and then you would also be giving the web service URL. And this web service URL is something that what you try to take in from the view code as well. So you would be taking up the endpoint from here, and once you had did that, you would be pasting it here, and the suffix is nothing but like you would be pasting the value, and you would be creating it. And once that is done, you would then be able to see the API that what you had created on. And you can also test your API when you want to select an operation as well. So you can design, or when you want to have some security being enabled inside it, then you would be going and changing it over here. Or when you want to do some settings inside it as well, you can go ahead and do to it. Either it can be in the name of display name, or URL scheme, or anything of that sort. Or when you want to test it as well, say in case how does the API respond back to you, either in form of 200, or either it is returning back in some other term. So you can go ahead and test it here as well. Once that is done, you then have the API being available, right? So you can then be exporting it. You can then export it, or you also have an option inside API management itself, which is like the Power Platform, which will be available under here. Just a second. Yeah, you also have an option to connect it directly to the Power Platform. And since I don't have the premium version of the Power Platform being available, it is letting me know to activate the account over here. But what happens here, if in case you have the premium connector, premium uh, premium license of the Power Apps is like, you
Bhargavi?
would then be hello.
Yeah, Bhargavi, this is Venkat. We left with only 5 minutes. If you have,
Yeah,
we have a couple of questions as well. Then
yeah,
just
okay.
time check.
I would be winding it up in another 2 or 1 minute. Okay. We would be then be uh, connecting it, and once we had connected this, we would then be allowed to use it under the Power Apps. What we can, I mean, the custom connectors will then be available either under the, if you have the premium version, then the connectors will be available under here, and we can go ahead and create the custom connectors over there. And then you can go directly use the Azure endpoint, or we can use the export thing that what we had did, right? So we can go ahead and use that as well. Sorry to rush up at the last. um, I am now open to questions that are there. Maybe.
There are a couple of questions here. So if you can take, that would be fine.
Yeah, sure.
So there was a question like model created under Azure OpenAI. Can we use it externally, like download that model and use it in a collab platform?
When you want to use it, then what we can do is like you can go ahead and create it in the same thing like what we did. And from there, with the help of the Azure endpoint and keys as well, you can, I mean, either it in the form of Python or something like that, you can go ahead and have the whole code as such. And from there you can integrate it inside the collab as well.
Okay. There was a question just from Vedan. Does the open source as LLM models in Hugging Face support Azure OpenAI to create applications?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Mm. Yeah, those are the questions that I see in the chat window. So other than this one, right? So Bhargavi, anything that you can tell us about the licensing part of it for Azure OpenAI,
Okay,
if they are
regarding
using
the
it as you
licensing part, the first thing that what we have to do is like we have to register under the URL that is there to use the Azure OpenAI service. And when we had registered it, it would take a minimum of 15 to 20 days to get your approval being processed. And once your approval is being processed alone, you would then be able to use the Azure OpenAI Studio. So you should be registering, and then only you can the get the um, get the Azure OpenAI Studio. And regarding the pricing part, as we had discussed that during the session itself, we have the different kind of models that are there, and you can go ahead and view the same inside the quotas that are there. And based on the quota, like the token plays a major role for your quota, and from there we can choose the model. And if your quota is full, then you can go ahead and use either the different region, or either you can reapply for it, or the different model that what you want.
Okay,
Hope
thank
I
you.
answered.
Yeah. So thanks,
With
Bhargavi. Thanks for your time for taking this particular session. Hope our audience got benefited with using this OpenAI Studio, Azure OpenAI Studio, and how they can use it all the kind of Azure OpenAI related concepts. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
With that, thank you for the opportunity to deliver a session, and thank
yeah,
you, Venkat and Deepesh, for this opportunity.
yeah, and also congratulations from the entire D365 Champs team that you got recently awarded as an MVP. So truly appreciate.
Thank you.
Okay, so with
Thank you,
that,
Bhargavi.
yeah, we are going to move to the last session of this Global AI Bootcamp. If we have our Vidit, the stage is yours.
Hello, hi. Thanks, Venkat. I will share my. Am I audible? Is there any disturbance from my end?
You're audible
No, no,
properly.
Okay,
you are audible.
yeah, fine. Let me know once my screen is available.
Yep.
Yeah. So, hi guys, I am Vidit Gholam. I'm a senior consultant. Today we'll be seeing. We saw a lot of sessions on Copilot's AI capabilities. A fantastic session by Pragnya on Copilots. Uh, we in my session we'll be seeing Copilots in Dynamics 365 sales and project operations. Again, these Copilots are out of the box Copilots that are built by Microsoft using the Copilot Studio, that is Power Virtual Agent. So just to give you a short introduction about myself, I am Vidit Gholam. I'm a senior consultant based in Mumbai. I work for CloudFront Technologies. I am a Power Platform solution architect and a sales functional consultant as well. I love solving complex business challenges through Dynamics 365 and, of course, explore more in the world of Dynamics. So, before we begin talking about Copilots, I know many of you guys must be new to the world of Dynamics or Dynamics applications. So, the two applications that we are going to talk about is Dynamics 365 Sales and Dynamics 365 Project Operations. So, what exactly is Dynamics 365 Sales and what exactly is Dynamics 365 Project Operations? So, both are a CRM. So sales allow us functions to manage our leads, opportunities, contact with the customers, analyze our lead data, run Power BI reports, create dashboards, do all the sales stuff. Uh, Project operations, on the other hand, is used for managing projects. So all our resource managements, time entries, all of those things are managed by these two platforms. So these are under the Dynamics 365 ecosystem. These are software services provided by Microsoft. So if you don't have access to, or if you have never seen any sales or project operations environment, don't worry. I'll show you how you can get spin up a quick trial. So for that, you need to go to trials.dynamics.com. Once you go to trials.dynamics.com, you get access to all the Dynamics 365 applications. The first one would be sales. There are service module. There is business center, marketing, customer data platforms. So all you need to do is click here and go for a free trial. If you already have a Microsoft account, you just need to enter your Microsoft account in that section and just enter your phone number, and it will spin up a free trial for you. The sales applications look something like this. This is a sales trial. You can have all your leads here. You can have your opportunities here, forecasts, calendars, tasks, calls, and many more such things. You also have these pretty dashboards which you can create, and of course run the Copilot over it. Same for the project operations as well. Project operations can be configured separately, or many a times it just comes in with the trial itself. So that's about the sales and Dynamics 365 environments. So this data has a lot, these environments or these software services has a lot of your customer data. Meaning, let's say you are managing your leads or you're managing your opportunities over the course of let's say 3 or 4 years, and you want, it becomes tedious after a point to what you can say, dig in that data or find certain leads, backdated leads. So in that case, this Copilot comes into action. So what the Copilot is about, what Sales Copilot is about, is all summarized in this single slide. So Copilot is not in public preview. It is available now. It is available since I think 2023 August. So Copilot, as the name says, Copilot, it will just help you pilot through your things. It won't, it is not like ChatGPT wherein you queries questions, or it is not like OpenAI wherein you query questions and it will give you uh, intelligent answers back. It can do selected functionalities like what I've listed here. Record summarization, record catch up, meeting preparation, email assistance, and new updates. So Copilot is just going to help you with your existing data, find your records, summarize your records, and speed up your sales process or your project process. So that's how the Copilot is different from your other AIs. Uh, Sales Copilot. So sales basically majorly used licenses in sales are Dynamics 365 Sales Premium and Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise. Sales Enterprise is $95 per month per user. Sales Premium is $135 per month per user. Sales Copilot comes in with these licenses. Premium features of Sales Copilot, those are still in preview, but they are not included in these licenses. Or yeah, the features which you are seeing on my screen are included. You can also use the Sales Copilot with Outlook and with Teams. So with that, let's see the setup and configurations to enable Sales Copilot in your project operations. So I showed you how you can spin up a free trial. So since I had already created a free trial, it just redirected me to my free trial. Once you have created your free trial, all of these Dynamics applications have a Power Platform Admin Center. So all of your environments, all of the trials which will be getting created within that environment would be seen in this Power Platform Admin Center. So since I made this free trial today, the free trial, of course, is for a month, that is 30 days, and hence it shows 29 days. You can convert it into a production environment after applying appropriate licenses, which I just showed you, Dynamics 365 Enterprise or Dynamics 365 Premium. That can be converted into production. One important thing before you uh, begin with setting up the Copilot inside these trials is to click on some settings before setting up everything. So I'll just go in settings section over here in the Power Platform Admin Center. I'll go in features. So all the new features that are released by Microsoft are available in this feature section. For example, if you see a Copilot section over here, now this Copilot section functionally has nothing to do with the sales Copilot, but uh, somewhere it plays a role in integrating the Copilot Studio with your sales Copilot. Am I still audible? Hello?
Yes, Vidit, you are audible.
Yeah, I heard a network glitch. Yeah. So continuing, for any environments that you will be building, uh, like after today, or let's say in 2024, this would be enabled for them by default. Just in case if you're using a older version of Dynamics or an older environment, you need to go in the features and you need to enable this feature to make sure that all of the Copilot functionalities are functioning properly. So with that, let's go into our environment and see how we can set up the Copilot for Dynamics 365 sales. Select your environment and just click on open. Sometimes loading an environment takes a while. Uh, a quick tip for is to just click apps after that, and it will load as quickly as possible. All the apps that I showed you in the trial, in the Dynamics trial section, are visible over here. In the Dynamics ecosystem, these apps are called model-driven apps. Uh, it is a part of Power Platform functionalities and features. You can read up more on model-driven apps in learn.microsoft. So we'll go to our sales trial model-driven app. So in this model-driven app, this is just for people who are creating trials, who have already a sales license. They can just go to Sales Hub. So we'll just go to a Sales Hub. So once you are in the Sales Hub, you will see a change area over here. So like any other software as a service platform, there are securities associated with this. So even Dynamics 365 has a security configuration. So to access all of these settings, you need to be a system administrator or a system customizer. Again, you can read more about roles and securities in Dynamics 365 in learn.microsoft.com. So this here is the Sales Hub. The one on my left screen is called a sitemap, and these are the forms and the ribbon buttons available in this platform. You have your leads, you have your opportunities, your quotes, orders, invoices, all of the entities required to do basic sales functionalities. In the sitemap, the section here is called the change area. In the change area, we have app settings. So in this app setting, you have Copilot. You can click on Copilot. Since now it is available globally, uh, it is not showing in preview. This Copilot feature is currently only available for opportunities and leads. Opportunity is a table, an entity, and leads is a table, an entity. So the setup by default, this will for most of the environments after I think January 2024, this will be turned on by default. But if you're using older version of Dynamics, you will see a blank screen over here or turned off. All you need to do is you need to come here and turn it on. If you have any other apps, for example, if you have created a custom model driven app, not using out of the box model driven apps, you will see that model driven app over here if it is using any functionality related to sales. So you can turn this Copilot in Sales Hub, sales team member, sales trial, even project operations, and all of that configurations is available to you here. Once you have turned on, it will take about 15 to 20 seconds to spin up everything to create the Copilot in the background. The interesting thing about this is what this does is, like Pragnya showed you Copilot Studio. So uh, if you have never created any Copilot or if you have never logged into a Copilot Studio, maybe you can log in once you have spinned up your sales trial, and you can see a Copilot chatbot already created out of the box by Microsoft. So Microsoft also uses Power Virtual Agents or Copilot Studios for this Dynamics 365 Sales Copilot. You can see the predefined topics already created. You can see the system topics already created. So after you have set up your sales style, it takes a few hours, I think 1 or 2 hours for everything to get set up. Why I'm saying that, it is not mentioned anywhere, but if you go here, if you see the publish section, the Copilot is not yet published. This feature isn't published. Your Copilot hasn't finished up setting it itself. So many a times when you have spinned up a sales trial and when you have enabled your Copilot features, you will see that the Copilot will be stuck in working on it. So that is because it is running some configurations in the backend, and it might take a while for it to set up all the configurations. But if you come in and log in again after 1 or 2 hours, you can see all of those Copilot features available within your sales trial. So continuing with the configurations, once you have finished enabling the Copilot for your Dynamics 365 model-driven apps, you have to enable it you have to set up the fields and the views for your entities. So what are these fields and what are these views? So, like I showed you in the PowerPoint presentation slide, that Copilot summarizes a record, or Copilot uses a certain fields or certain information from within the records to give you the information that you have asked. So how it is able to determine what information to take or what information to look for. So that you can determine from the fields section over here. By default, when you are configuring a sales copilot, it will take the default 7 fields available for opportunities and leads. You can come here and you can enable or add your fields. Many a times, most of these is a canvas, blank canvas, and people are building their apps or their sales modules over them. So these might have a lot of additional fields or a lot of custom fields in them. So you can add those custom fields so that your Copilot can track that data through those custom fields. I think this takes 4 fields and altogether 10 fields. So if I go to add 2 more fields, it will not let me publish. It will say choose between 4 to 10 fields. So one thing to remember while using Copilots or while using functionalities like uh, these are still in the early phases, and the bots or the AI is still learning on how to use your environment. This is just the beginning, a start of something very innovative, and you will get more and more functionalities with this. So you can set up your fields over here. Only 10 or 4 fields are available. Same for, I'll just discard this. Same for the lead entity. So for the lead entity as well, you can set up the number of fields you want to set up as per your requirement. Once this is set up, once all your leads and all your opportunities are set up, your Copilot is ready to use. So since my Copilot is setting up in the trial environment, I'll just use another environment which I had configured long back. So we'll just log into that environment and we'll just see how the Sales Copilot works. So this is a sample environment. It has sample data. Uh, to for your Copilot for any AI to work better, your data should be very crisp. Your data should be very good. So I might not be able to show you everything, all of the functionalities properly because this is sample data. But let's say uh, that we want to summarize what is going on with our leads or what has been assigned to me. So all I need to do is click on this Copilot section. You currently have 3 options: get information, ask questions, stay ahead. So you can click on get information. Get information will give you a latest information about accounts. It will show you your pipeline. It will summarize leads. So I'll click on summarize leads. I'll click here. And it will give you all your leads in your systems. You can just click on this and it will generate a summary for you. So it says here is a lead for this person. The lead is about a new store that is opened from years. So all the information which you see over here, this information the Copilot is grabbing from the fields which we have configured in the setup. So if you want the information, let's say the rating of the lead, or let's say the start date, or any timeline related to the lead. So you need to configure that field in the configurations. So that's about how you configure the Copilot in Dynamics 365 Sales. Let's go back to our slide. So as I said, we can configure Dynamics 365 Sales Copilot in Outlook as well as Teams. So before Dynamics 365 Sales Copilot, at some point I might just pronounce the name incorrectly because it's a big name. So before that, there was Dynamics 365 app for Outlook. So through app for Outlook, many a times it happens that the salesperson are on calls or they are on meetings or they are busy with some work handling their emails and they don't want to log into another system. They don't want to import data or just copy paste data from an email messaging platform or an email platform and put into that system. It just breaks their work process, or it just reduces efficiency. So for that, we also have Copilot in Outlook and Teams. We will talk more on the features of Outlook and Teams, Copilots in Outlook and Teams ahead in the session. Before that, let's see how we can configure this. So again, the licenses are same for this. Uh, this is Dynamics 365 Sales Copilot for Outlook and not M365 Copilot for Outlook. There are 2 Copilots for Outlook. One is M365 and one is Dynamics 365. The M365 Copilot for Outlook requires a separate license. That is, I think, $30 or $40 per month per user. This, that is the Sales Copilot for Outlook, comes in with your sales licensing. That is enterprise or your premium. So again, make sure that you are a admin within your tenant, preferably a global admin, to do all of these settings. To set up Sales Copilot in your Outlook, you need to go to Microsoft Admin Center and you need to search for integrated apps. Within the integrated apps, you need to search for Copilot for Sales. Once you click on Copilot for Sales, you will see this configurational screen. I will show that to you in a demo, but these are just a few glances of slides for you to keep it in the back of your head. So you will have to configure. You can decide if you are going to configure this for the entire organization or just you. In my case, it's just a demo, so I just wanted to configure it for myself. Uh, you need to select, this is by default, you need to select Copilot for Sales in Microsoft 365 and Copilot for Sales. And once everything is done, you need to accept the permissions. You need to grant permission for the Copilot to access your Outlook, and you just need to click next and finished. So we'll just go to the admin center, admin.microsoft.com. Just in case if it is difficult to remember this URL, you can always go to office.com, and from there you can access your admin centers if you are a global admin. So in the admin center, you need to click on show all. Under the show all, you need to click on settings. Under the settings, you need to click on integrated apps. So in the integrated app, I have already configured the sales Copilot for Sales. You need to click on Get Apps. If you are not a global admin, your administrator needs to do this step. This configuration would not take more than 5-10 minutes if you have the correct licenses. It usually takes some time to load. And in demos, it usually takes more times to load, as always. Yeah. So you will be in Microsoft 365 apps. Just need to search for Copilot for Sales. And you will get the app in here. Just click on Copilot for Sales. Now you are seeing a different icon over here. I am using a licensed trial. This trial is on an older Dynamics 365 license. Hence, I have access to an older version of Copilot. So the older version, meaning the functionalities are still remains the same, just the look and the feel changes. Hence, you are seeing a different icon over here. Just click on Get Now, and the configurational steps would be showing up in the screen. So it is already deployed in my environment, hence it won't show up again. But the configurational steps which I showed you in my PowerPoint presentation, you just need to follow that. It is a simple process. It is not any rocket science. Any stakeholder or any citizen user can configure this within their environment. Just the condition is you have to have the correct licenses. So this was about configuring it within your Outlook. When you go to your Outlook, I'll just open my Outlook. So it says your Copilot has been deployed successfully. You might not see the Copilot icon over here in your Outlook. Uh, it depends on personalized settings or how you have set up your Outlook for yourself. But once your administrators or once you have released the Copilot from your admin center, it will be available in the apps. So my Copilot is already available here. If in case it is not available here for you, you can click on Get Apps. and under built by Microsoft, you will see your Outlook for sales, Copilot for sales. So in case your environment, your administrators have by default released Copilots for sales, you don't even have to do the configuration on admin center. You just need to come in your Outlook, go in apps and check if you have the Copilot functionality available. So this was how to set it up for your Outlook. For Teams, this is a little different. So to set up your Copilot within your Teams, you need to go to Teams Admin Center, that is teams.microsoft.com. Oh, no, this is not it. Admin.teams.microsoft.com. Sorry. So when you come to your Teams Admin Center, again, you have to be an administrator for your tenant. You need to come in Teams app. You need to come in Manage Apps. And you need to make sure the Copilot, you need to search for Sales Copilot. Or just Copilot. And you need to make sure the status of it is unblocked. Many times it might happen that your organization is running a different security model on their Azure. Uh, that security model can block some Copilot features. To make sure you contact your Azure admin or you contact your security guys and make sure that all of the Copilot functionalities are enabled. So since we are talking about security, I'll also mention a point that uh, all your data is processed securely within your Azure tenant itself. That data is not used by Microsoft to train any other model. All of your data always remains within your tenant, and your Copilot just runs or processes that data through your tenant. So your data is always secure. It is not going anywhere, or it is not being used to train any other models. That's the same for OpenAI as well. Once you have made sure that the managed apps are unblocked, you need to come in permissions. Sorry, you need to come in setups. You need to create a new policy. In that policy, you need to give a policy name. You need to add an installed app. So when we configure the Copilot in the admin center, that gets installed automatically within our tenants, and you will get that Copilot in the installed apps. So if I click Copilot, here it is. You just need to add it. You just need to pin that app so that it is available for your users within your teams. And that's it. Just save this, give this a name. So I have already made a policy. The policy name is Sales Copilot. And I have done the steps which I've showed you. Once this policy is made, you need to apply that policy. Now to apply that policy, you need to come in policy groups and you need to click on add. Once you click here, you can search for your group. It will, since I have already applied a policy, that's why it is not showing here. But you can select your groups. If there are multiple groups within your uh, M365, you can select them. You can select the policy. So all the policy that you have created within the policy setups will be available here. You can select the rank of the policies and just click on apply. Just by doing this, all of the Copilot features or the Copilot would be released into your Teams environment. So going back to our slides, that's how we deploy the Copilot. Let's go through it once again, the steps. So first you need to configure it. You need to get the app in your Microsoft Dynamics 365 Admin Center. You need to do all these configurations. Once you click on finished deployment, it will get completely deployed. Then you need to go to your Teams Admin Center. You need to unblock the Copilot app in the managed apps. You need to set up a policy. You need to apply that policy for a security group. Any questions?
There was a question like, can it work on any custom entity for CRM? And its
Yes.
description columns to
No,
scan
no,
and
it
give
is
results.
no, it won't work for any custom entities, as I said. Uh, only works for opportunities and leads. Only these entities are available at the moment. And as I've said, this is an evolving technology. This is just a step ahead. This you will see more and more features coming regarding Sales Copilot. There are many more features that have been announced in the current wave updates. Those are in previews, and I need to spin up another trial and try those. So that would be for another session. But to answer that question, no, it is not available for any custom entity. Uh, but an idea for that is you can create a copilot of your own, publish it into your app, feed that copilot the data for your custom entity. You can do that using Power Automate. There are actions in Copilot Studio, and you can enable that copilot for your custom entity. But currently, out of the box, it is not available. Uh, does that answer?
Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yes. So moving on, let's see a short demo of how the Copilot features uh, can be used in Dynamics 365 sales and Dynamics 365 project operations. So let's say that I am a customer. I'll go to my Outlook. It's here. So I will just create an email. This is my sales trial. I'll just create an email that inquiry for OpenAI services deployment. I will say, hi team. We are looking to explore more in the area of OpenAI. Can you help us with this? And I will send this email. This email will be received inside my trial environment. So if I refresh again, here it is. So I have this email now. Visit Gholam. I have been working on 10 or 15 leads. I am not able to recall who Vidit Gholam is. Has he inquired in the past for anything? Which consultancy or which organization he belongs to? Does he have any information? Do I have any information regarding Vidit Gholam within my systems? I don't know that. For that, I can just use my Copilot. The Copilot would just assess my email, and it will give me suggestions regarding this email I have a contact named Vidit Gholam already in my system. There is an opportunity regarding Vidit Gholam already in my system. The opportunity is for Copilot deployment, and Vidit Gholam belongs to CloudFront Technologies. There is also a Teams channel regarding the customer CloudFront Technologies, and this is this team channel. So all of this information which you see in the Copilot is available based on your security roles that you have. Since I am a global admin, all the information will be available to me. Uh, in the sales application, generally there is an hierarchy. Again, it depends upon organization to organization, but a general route towards the security is there is uh, a sales manager, there are salesperson, and there are sales guys. So these three hierarchies are usually followed. Two main important things to note about that is the sales manager. Sales manager have access to all of the records, and salesperson have access. They can at least read records, but they can't edit certain records. So my Copilot has already given me information about this email which came through. I can see the contact of the source of the email. I can also uh, click on this contact. This contact will give me information, the business phone number, the mobile number, and the owner. Again, these fields are restricted to the fields that we have set up while while configuring our Copilot. Also, there are card forms within your Dynamics 365 CRM. Those card forms can also be used uh, over here. So let's say this contact has changed his mobile number, and I need to edit that in my Dynamics record. So usually, what I would have to do is from my Outlook, I'll have to log into my Dynamics 365 system. I will have to go. I will have to search for a contact. Let's say we can do it. I will have to search for a contact named Vidit Gholam. I will have to open that contact. Then I can edit his phone number. This breaks my process or my flow of working. To make it more efficient, the Copilot allows us to directly edit any contact from here itself. So I can edit the job title, I can edit the email, I can edit the company name, I can edit the business phone number, and all of the fields that are available over here. Same goes for the opportunities. In case of opportunities, opportunities are not editable, but you can view the opportunities that are already existing for this contact record. Uh, Interesting part is it also gives you a summary for the opportunity, so you don't have to ask anyone. Let's say this opportunity is assigned, you are a sales manager, it is assigned to a salesperson. You don't have to ask that salesperson, hey, salesperson, what is the opportunity about? You are getting all of that information right away in your Outlook uh, through the Copilot. Again, the information which you are getting here depends upon the fields you have set up while configuring the Copilot for your sales. Uh, uh, Based on your data, based on the data that you have entered on your opportunity, this information will get generated. Uh, Through the trend I have observed when you are working or when you have installed your Copilot for the first for the initial phases for let's say 2 or 3 weeks, it might show some glitches. It might not generate data to the point. It will never generate any false data, but it won't generate uh, accurate data. For example, if you go on ChatGPT, if you say I need to create a LinkedIn post, ChatGPT will always give you a standard reply, streamline, efficiency boosting, this that. It will use those kind of words. But with time, this is my observation. I still have to look for documents about it. So from my experience, the Copilot learns with you. It learns what data accuracy you need, or what data you will be looking for, or what data you prefer. So it will learn with you the more and more you use it, limited to its functionalities. So this is the opportunity information that it is giving me. Now, if I need to reply to this email, I can also click on, I'll just draft an email. So I will just say reply to this inquiry. So it will give me a draft email ready-made. Thank you for reaching out. Your valuable business with CloudFronts and all that. So you can generate this as well. You just like all the AIs, you also get to adjust the tone of the replies. You can keep it short. You can keep it medium. You can adjust the tone. You can suggest a meeting. There are also language capabilities. Right now, only these languages are supported. I think they have released a few more. I'm not sure about the exact count of the languages, but our regional languages are also included, I think. Don't quote me on that. I need to check that. But since I'm using an older version, only these many languages are available to me. I can also add some additional details. Let's say for our customer relationship, I will give you a 20% discount. So it will modify this, and it will give me this email. So if I copy this content, uh, just like all demos, something has to fail. So it usually copies it and it creates a new reply for this email. And you can send that reply directly to the customer. Now, one more functionality that is you can also track these emails. So here you have an option called as save to Dynamics. So you can click on save. So it gives you Copilot deployment or opportunity, or you can search for records. So it can be a lead record, it can be an opportunity record. I'll just save it to the account record. So once this email is saved, it takes about 5-7 seconds. You will get a tag over here which says track to Dynamics. If you go to Dynamics, if you go in the account, you will have that email already over here. Now, let's say your sales users are, or let's say your sales guys are just using Dynamics 365 to interact with the systems, and you need to create emails from here. So you can click on emails. Uh, Again, we have a Copilot feature over here. We can say, where is the email feature? Summarize. No. Let me just refresh once. Just a second. So the point was you can also draft emails. I'm not sure if this would work. But you can draft emails. It also helps you to draft emails within Dynamics. Uh, it will take up all the information from your account or from the related opportunity and help you with the best possible reply. Again, this is a test environment, so I don't have very clean data to show right now. That's why maybe some functionalities are not showing up, some are showing up, but with a clean environment, believe me, it works really great. So you can draft all of this information. So one more thing which I wanted to show you is while using Dynamics 365, many a times it happens that many a times it may happen that you can get multiple leads from a single source. Let's say marketplace, there is a customer, you are getting those leads for that customer. So for example, I already have a lead for Copilot deployment from CloudFronts. This is a new lead for OpenAI deployment from CloudFronts. So I will click the contact record. I'll click on the account record. So without the Copilot, you will have to go in and fill in the website, uh, the street code and everything. I know you can write a JavaScript and you can bring all that information predefined over here. But if Copilot is there, then why increase your development efforts? So with Copilot, you can directly it smartly uh, acknowledges that this is an existing customer and this customer. So if I just click on summarize lead, oh, I need to create this lead record first. I'll refresh. Yeah. So it will just give you suggestions over here that here is the lead for Vidit Gholam. It is also giving you update suggestions that this is an existing customer. The address is already there in the system. If you want to update the records, you can just click on update the records and it will update your records. See, it automatically did it. Just a few clicks. Uh, you can also get latest information about your accounts. So for example, the account associated with this is CloudFriends. So it will go on Bing, it will search the latest information regarding your account. And it will bring in all of those informations. Most of these informations are knowledge articles or customer deals published on that customer's website. So all of those features are possible through Copilot. Currently, you can only access these features, get information, uh, summarize lead, summarize opportunity, show my pipeline, ask questions, uh, what is newly assigned to me, stay ahead, prepare for the appointments. So if you have a collection of appointments or if you have a lot of items in your timeline on your lead or in your timeline in your opportunities, all of that information will be processed by Copilot and it will give you the best possible what you can say outcome for you to use in your team's meeting. While using the Copilot will team with Teams, if your transcript is enabled for client meetings, it will create MOMs directly. It will also identify sentiments if they have what you can say it if they have named any competitor, it will catch that. It will bring you that data. All of those capabilities are possible through this Sales Copilot. One more last feature which I would like to show you is if we go to opportunities, let's say if there are multiple opportunities, you can always come here and it will show you uh, the summary for your opportunities or it sorry, show me your pipeline. So it will show you what has been changed in your pipeline or what has been changed what's new to the system or what has been changed since you have logged in. All of that data is coming from your audit logs into Dynamics. So make sure that your audit logs are enabled. If the audit logs are enabled, all of these summaries won't work. One more interesting feature, the last one, sorry, which I would like to show you is if you are not using Copilots, if you don't want to use it, and if you are just using uh, uh, email messages in your Dynamics 365 system, you also get adjust Copilot features directly over here. You can type in your emails, you can adjust it with your Copilot. This is not enabled by default. To enable it, you need to go to your model-driven app settings. You need to click on App Designer, open the App Designer for that model-driven app settings. Click on Settings, click on Upcoming Features, and enable these rich text options. By doing this, the Copilot will be available in your email rich text only. It doesn't work for notes at the moment. I still need to figure out how to enable that. I'm sure there must be a hack for it. But yeah, you can enable that through this. So that's about the demo for Copilot. I already give you a demo for Outlook. As I mentioned earlier that we also have Dynamics 365 app for Outlook. It also tracks your emails. It also gives you functionality to edit. So the difference between Copilot for Sales and Dynamics 365 app for Outlook is on your screen. There is much more for Copilot to offer than Dynamics 365 app for Outlook. I'm not saying Dynamics 365 app for Outlook is not useful, but Copilot is definitely an upgrade over Dynamics 365 app for Outlook. So that's it for our today's session. This is just an overview of how your what you can say sales pipeline would look through in your lead. You can generate summaries for your lead. You can schedule appointments. Once that lead is qualified, you get all of your appointments tracked in your timeline. You get changes done by different sales team members. You can prepare quotes, quotation emails, not quotes, and you can propose them and continue with your timeline throughout. So, oh, one more thing, if we have 2 minutes to spare, I forgot to show you the features for project operations. So this was about sales. So for project operations, there are not many functionalities available for Copilot and project operations. To enable the Copilot in project operations, again, project operations is just an app inside model-driven app inside your Dynamics 365 environment. You need to go to project operations. You need to go to settings. You need to go to parameters. Make sure to select this and edit. If you click on this, it will open the organization unit. You need to go to features and controls, and you can enable Copilot from here. I know this is a lot of clicks, but that's Microsoft. That's how they do it. So you can disable or enable it. And for features for project operations, only 3 features are available. You can go to your projects. Oh, this is, sorry, let me go to another tenant. So once you have set up all of your projects and your team members and everything, one of the tedious tasks to do is to create tasks for your projects. So if everything is set up correctly, if you have your end dates and start dates set up correctly on your projects, uh, and if you have the description set up correctly on your project, uh, Copilot gives you a feature to create tasks automatically. Once you click on this in the task section, it will automatically create tasks for you. And the huge manual effort for your PMO, project management officers, to create these tasks would reduce. Again, as and when you use it frequently, it learns more and it gives you accurate tasks with time. For the first time, when you use it, it will just create some random tasks for with, but with time analyzing your data, it will give you more efficient results. You can also make status updates and you can create risk assessments. Uh, yeah, so that's about project operations. And that's all I had for our today's session. You can follow my blog, you can connect me on LinkedIn, and you can connect me on Twitter as well. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them now, or you can always reach out to me on Teams, and I will be happy to help you there. Any questions?
I don't see any questions, Vidit. And thanks for your session. And yeah, it was very much useful session where you have explained the enabling Copilot in Outlook and sales and also the project operations. Yeah, also you showed an option like how you can do it with number of clicks in the project operations.
Yes.
So Deepesh, you wanted to add something before we wind up this uh, bootcamp?
Yeah, thanks for the enlightening session. And definitely, these are the starting phases of co-pilots. So the technology is going to evolve over a period of time, but it's already looking great, isn't it? And thanks to the other speakers as well for taking out time and taking us through various insights of where AI and Copilot sits with Dynamics and Power Platform and Azure. So these are just the initial bits where technology is today, and customers are already utilizing it. But there are so many great scenarios, and Microsoft has a great envisioning for what's to come. And thanks all to attend for the 3 hours today on a long weekend, start of a long weekend. But I hope your time was worth it and there was a lot of information being poured upon you. And thanks, Venkata, to co-organize alongside me.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
Thank you, Venkata. Thank you, Dipesh, for the opportunity and these great learning sessions. Hopefully, we have much more in the future. And thank you, Global AI Bootcamp. Thanks. It was fun.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Venkata, we may stop the recording.
Yeah.